Scorpio, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this reading for May, the first 2 weeks of May. I'm super excited to be here with you guys, and since you had to wait longer than everybody else, I thought that I would do a live stream for you guys and Capricorn and Pisces. So if you're a Capricorn, Pisces, stay tuned, but right now we're going to talk about Scorpio and the first 2 weeks of May. So as you guys can tell, I have some clothes on redbubble.com. There's a bunch of collabs with artists that are going to be coming up, and 33% of the proceeds are going towards domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. So if you're interested in supporting me, supporting the channel, and supporting a good cause, then please go check those out. Anyway, so let's take a look at your chart. So this is your chart for May. This is actually May 10th, which is the full moon in Scorpio. And we're looking at Aries, of course. So let me switch that over. It's going to be happening in your first house. It's going to be happening in your first house. So this is a pretty special full moon. This is allowing you to really step into all the lessons that you had begun 6 months ago and really culminate within the kind of advice and information that you've learned in this period and apply it. So that's either magnify the things that you've learned or maybe cease to do certain things. With a full moon, you always have that extra energy. Partnerships are going to be shining a light on this house for you. The only other main change in the first 2 weeks of May is Mercury, which is hiding behind this fern, but it's switching direction in your 6th house of daily activities and responsibilities. That's happening on May 3rd. After that, things should be coming more into a regular pattern. Anyway, so let's take a look at your first card. So I'm using the Holy Moly Tarot. Sorry about my nails, I'm growing them out. So your first card is the Star, which is the card of Aquarius. Okay, in this deck, it's the card of Mercury, actually. So you can kind of take on both qualities. But the Star is the card of soulmates, destined relationships, fated experiences, things that you were meant to experience all along. It's the sense of knowing that you're in the right place at the right time and the right things are happening for you. So one wonderful card to start off the reading. Why don't I pick a clarifier for you? So we have the King of Leaves, which is the King of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. So Scorpio, really look out for Aquarian types or air-like people, particularly masculine energies around you that will be very instrumental in the next couple weeks. Let's take a look at my deck. So here we have the Mage, which is the Magician, a very powerful card also. So the first two main cards that I've picked are both Arcana, which signifies a very special time in your life. The Magician is able to put forward whatever they need to achieve in order to become successful, right? So we have this alignment with destiny, and now you're moving forward into a new direction, and you are kind of stepping into your power and owning it. The next card is, let's pick a clarifier. We actually got two wonderful cards, Scorpio. We have the Empress and the Six of Cups, or the Six of Hearts in this deck. So there's really big issues surrounding motherhood and surrounding your mother possibly, or maybe your role as a mother, things that you value and things that you want to bring forward. Let's see what else comes up. This card just kind of got lost on the table, so why don't we take it? So there's this also Knight of Acorns. So this is a Knight of Wands. There is a coming and going of energy. Somebody who's coming into the picture very quickly or leaving as well. Let's take a look at your next card. And we have the Seven of Coins. So I love this card. So I feel as though there's some real strong foundation that's being built for you at this time. I'm excited because I'm Scorpio rising. I have lots of placements in Scorpio. So I'm excited to see this. It just means that there's a lot of opportunity and doors are opening up for you, and you're really considering which options to take. I think that you're kind of more steady to hold on to what you have going on. And I think that certain people might be kind of not seducing you, but in a certain way kind of tantalizing you to go and keep going in a new direction. And I don't think that necessarily you are too convinced that you want to go. You're really focused on the details of your responsibilities and the things that you wish to achieve. I feel as though you feel very empowered, especially empowered around women, your own mother, or possibly your role as a mother. So if you are a mother at this time, it's like it's mama's house, you know. There's no messing around with you at this time. Very protective, especially around the 10th of May. For most of you, that's going to be the 11th of May, by the way. I'm reading on the west coast of Canada, which is 10th of May full moon at about 11:30 p.m. So for everybody else, it's going to be the 11th, except Hawaii. Anyway, so here is your next card. Whoops. These came in upside down, but because, well, let's just take them. We have the 3 of discs as upside down, which is saying that be careful of getting sloppy with your work. Be careful of not being serious enough with the things that you need to deal with, and sugarcoating things. Because if you're sugarcoating things, if you're taking too much time off, then this strong foundation is gonna start yielding. Here's the next message. And we have the 6 of discs. So there's a lot of confidence in what you have and what you have achieved. So we have the 6 of discs displaying an effort and reciprocity. It feels like you have reserves of either financial resources or things that you have saved up in the past. And now you're kind of more confident about the direction that you are taking, and you're interacting with other people. But on the backhand is a little bit of laziness. So if you're not really fully stepping into your responsibilities with regard to work and with regard to career responsibilities, this is a time when it's going to really get flushed out. And I think that you're going to be prompted or even seduced to try to not try so hard. If that's the case, then you will be probably held accountable later. That's why it's coming up. I feel like there's like a history there. Not a history, but there is a, how do you say this? There's a consequence there down the line. Here's a clarifier. What could be stopping you is something really normal, like the 5 of acorns. This is the 5 of wands. So through stress, you could be like shutting down and not getting your work done. In small doses, it feels okay, but I feel as though it's going to accrue unless you're very careful. So make sure that you're getting your work done and trying to get into a workflow every single day. If you have a slow day of work, the next day try to go and do your work thoroughly. Here is the next message, and we have the 4 of coins. So did we already have the 4 of coins for you? No. So we have, look at this, we have the 7 of coins, the 3 of coins, the 6 of coins, and the 4 of coins. It's all about money, but it's all about how manipulating money that's already on hand and not necessarily growing in a new direction, being comfortable with what you're at. You're looking at transactions between yourself and other people, maybe distracted by things a little bit. So we have the moon that came up, which is a little bit of an illusion that you're falling into this month or this 2 weeks period. You may feel like maybe certain things are set out for you, and so you're comfortable in the things that you are pursuant of, you know. There's a significant amount of balance that you feel within your situation, but the 4 of coins is saying that you're refusing to challenge yourself at this time. Here is the next message. It's the 2 of acorns. Okay, so with the 2 of acorns, as you're sitting still and as you're observing the world, I think the idea is going to dawn on you. It's going to become painfully aware that you have to, in a certain way, change your approach to things. In a certain sense, we have lots of wands and we have lots of earth cards, mostly. And so I think that this is like a spiritual awakening as to something that's not necessarily moving as smoothly as it should in your life, okay? This is the next message. Oops, we have this upside down as well. So this is the Emperor. You guys know I don't read reversals. These 2 cards actually fell out. and I just put them down. So if you want to take them in the upright, I'll just take them as they came. So like I said, if you keep being pursuant of a lazy attitude and kind of stockpiling and making things comfortable for yourself, you're going to undermine the foundation that you're coming into May with. And the foundation that you're coming into May with is really quite stable. Even if it's motivated by some type of spiritual anxiety, medical anxiety, whatever kind of motivation that's kind of tripping you out and you're not able to move forward in the direction that you had hoped because you feel like you're psyching yourself out a little bit, it's gonna accrue, and probably by the full moon it's gonna become even more apparent that this is something that you need to address. Okay, so the urgency of this situation is going to be more and more urgent, more and more pressing, and I feel as though you will kind of intuitively feel and perceive that this is the decision that you have to make, you know, to kind of get more involved and get more, how do you say this, not just involved, but get more present. Okay, so here is the next message. So we have the Temperance card. This is the card of Sagittarius. So maybe you can look for Sagittarian people around you, or people who inspire you to consider all the options. So consider all your options with regard to like how you are approaching things. Consider your approach and how you are handling this situation. Don't start hitting your head against the wall and just trying to ram through the blockages that you're feeling, because you're not going to get to that, because the standard to which you have been accustomed to is set so high. So you need to kind of, in a certain way, take a delicate approach. And maybe a Sagittarius will help you to achieve that. In fact, a Sagittarius can really turn the situation around for you out of laziness and out of kind of a lethargic approach to a more active one, right? Here is your next message. Okay, so we have the Tower here. And so with the Tower, there's a great unrest. See, there's something big coming for you right in the middle of May. So there's this big unrest, and let's look at this last card because I don't want to read an Ace of Swords. So there's going to be a big message that comes through. Anything that you've been latent on, it's almost like a deer in the headlights. You have certain things in a comfortable circumstance, and yet you feel the challenge is coming. By the end of this period, by about the 15th of May, there's going to be a clear communication that's going to come through and kind of sweep away any kind of what's the word for it? Illusion that you have drawn around this situation for yourself. Remember, this is a destined event, so it's not something that you necessarily can avoid. Even if you do start working, I think that this is a byproduct of you sensing that certain things are going to be coming through for you. Remember, a Tower isn't necessarily something that is bad. It's something that will shake you out of complacency. It will shake you out of the redundancy of your regular and daily activities. But I feel as though you'll do a lot more for yourself if you loosen up a little bit. If you, through the first 2 weeks of May leading up to this event, to this situation that's here really across the board, if you approach life with a little bit of lightheartedness, a lightheartedness basically saying, I'm going to do my work and pretend I know it's coming, but things happen in life and I have to face them. And the Ace of Swords is going to clarify a lot. Here is the next message. So this is the Queen of Leaves, the Queen of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. There's a clear communication that's coming to you and a clear awareness about circumstances. It's going to be a message about moving on from something or a situation. It's going to push you to challenge yourself, to break the mold. Maybe this is the Aquarius energy because we ran out of masculine court cards, right? With the exception of the Knight. So maybe this is the same individual, that somebody around you, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, is going off and is going to change some kind of system or situation for you, you know? It could be actually, in a certain sense, for some of you, some type of awareness of a breakup of a business or a personal relationship. This would be due to instability in the infrastructure. We did get the Sun at the bottom, so at the end of the day, the changes are happening for a good reason. They're going to lead you to a better circumstance, to a better dynamic, okay? You got some pretty big cards. Let me just clarify with maybe a few of my cards. Let's see what I can get for you. Okay, so let's look here. Oh. So we have the Last Judgment. I feel as though you're making large decisions about relationships. And I feel as though those decisions are very pressing for you. Fundamental decisions are being made either for you're making the decision or someone around you. This is a fundamental decision because you have the Emperor in reverse, the Tower, the Last Judgment, the Magician. I feel as though some of you, it's going to be happening around you. Relationships, in a certain sense, are being restructured. There's going to be a clear communication coming out for you about that. Here is your next message, the Ten of Swords. A relationship is ending around you. Nothing that you can really deal with, but you're going to hear the ramifications of that. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords for you guys a little bit before we finish up. Okay. So, Circle of Life. So there's a positive, this is the Wheel of Fortune in my deck. So there's a positive turn of events that's leading you to good things and to transcendence. So you'll be able, so what looks like a very devastating event, look here, it's the Sun, right? Happiness and joy. There's a big decision to be made. And I think there's a reversal with regard to the power of some kind of structure and force, as there's a gentler approach and a more comprehensive kind of perspective as to the decisions that you are making, you know? I feel as though there's someone who is really, there's a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra who's really cutting ties, really separating themselves from the dynamic. And I think that there has to do with a work type situation, which is the Eight of Discs, which is Sun in Virgo, by the way. So maybe this is like you follow through on whatever it is you're trying to achieve, and you keep pushing at it until you find success. So there's this determination here to get through the situation, to invest, because of the foundation from which you had come, you know? There's this is the mishap, if anything. It's the reversal of the Three of Discs and the Five of Wands. That's the only really stressful thing. Even this Tower is like the turn of events and an improvement in a situation. The Last Judgment. In fact, for some of you, this is taking back a relationship, right? What you thought was a relationship that was done and dead in the water is actually having quite a nice resurgence. Maybe some of you, your partners, had been dating a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra woman. And now you're seeing that through time, that relationship is opening itself up to you again. So maybe you have a second chance at somebody who went with someone else for a while or something like that. The last card that I have for the Circle of Life is the Three of Discs in the upright. No lie, it came here. So maybe this is a reminder for you to keep pace with your work while you are ironing out interpersonal relationships. I put this to the side, right? It's a very disturbing image. It's Francisco Goya, right? And it's the assassination of people, and so in Spain, and so I don't remember the city, but it's a famous painting anyway. So it's like something is done and dead in the water. It's not even about emotions coming through. And then you're restructuring and refocusing yourself towards a more pragmatic approach. And what was reversed here, just really broken, has actually turned around. And it is by luck. There's going to be some kind of communication that happens between yourself and someone else. There's going to be some type of clear communication that either by chance or by sheer luck irons something out. It's like having the opportunity to say something to someone to clarify your position. Suddenly you get that opportunity and it's going to turn around for you again in a positive direction. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give me a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will check you out soon. I'll be filming, I think, Capricorn next, so stay tuned for that. I'll be back on in about 5 minutes. Bye.